I want to bring the conversation back to the broken criminal justice system that is disproportionately negatively impacting black and brown people all across this country today. Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way. Bottom line is, Senator Harris, when you are in a position to make a difference and an impact in these people's lives, you did not. And worse yet, in the case of those who were on death row, innocent people, you actually blocked evidence from being revealed that would have freed them until you were forced to do so. There is no excuse for that. And the people who suffered under your reign as prosecutor, you owe them an apology.
Jamel Truelove.
Yes. Never in a million years I would have thought that they were going to charge me for Sales murder. I never talked to no detective, no police officer, no DA, nobody.
Just arrested and then charged?
Arrested and charged, that's it.
Was the first time you saw Kamala Harris in person the day that the verdict was issued?
She showed up at the two most pivotal times in this first trial, and me being convicted and me being sentenced. She wanted to be present for a celebration of a conviction.
That's what it felt like, celebration?
A celebration, that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
He's talking about what happened when Kamala Harris was district attorney.
Yeah.
In his district.
And
he was
Los Angeles.
He was falsely accused.
Jamal, I'm going to read you a quote real quick. The job of a progressive prosecutor is to look out for those overlooked, to speak up for those whose voices aren't being heard, to see and address the causes of crime, not just their consequences, and to shine a light on the inequality and unfairness that lead to injustice. It is to recognize that not everyone needs punishment, that what many need, quite obviously, is help. Kamala Harris wrote that in her book, The Truths We Hold. Does that sound consistent with the kind of with the brand of justice that you saw administered by offices that she was running?
It definitely sounds like Kamala Harris right now as a senator, but at the time of her being the head district attorney of San Francisco, that is almost polar opposite of what I felt and what our community felt in San Francisco.
And her office treated this black man so badly that it made me actually wonder if she had some kind of vendetta. This is what I was wondering, against black men. I know Kamala Harris's dad has not spoken very well of her.
No.
He's a black man himself. He has not spoken very well.
Let's say this is her father is an incredibly well-educated man. He's a professor. Yeah, he's a professor. He's a Jamaican. Also, he split with Kamala's mother when she was 7 years old, and clearly that must have had some type of effect on her. You know, and as I said, I'm not a medical professional. I can only tell you what I see and what I've read. But the man in question was a man called Jamal Truelove. Jamal Truelove spent nearly 6.5 years in prison for a crime clearly he was innocent of. It was very unusual for a state prosecutor to take such an interest in a case. She actually attended court. Kamala Harris actually attended court twice to ensure and literally hid evidence that would have exonerated this man. He spent 6.5 years in prison, and not only that, I think he won almost 30 million in a payout by the city of Los Angeles. It's one of the problems that I have with Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris seemingly, has a problem with black men.
Right.
Seemingly has a problem with black men. And it seems that her time as Attorney General, as a state attorney in Los Angeles, is littered with cases against black men.
yeah,
For
it is.
example, we'll remember time where she was responsible for incarcerating over 1,500 black men for marijuana offences. However, when she was asked had she ever smoked marijuana, she laughed. Yeah, she laughed.